Early on a Friday night. I really appreciate it, Humboldt. This is an important issue, and I'm glad that you all are here. I'm a cultivator. I'm a proud cultivator. Anybody, can I see a show of hands who's a proud cultivator? A few years ago, I brought these agencies. I wouldn't ask you to do something I haven't done myself. I brought these agencies on my property. They were not as friendly back then as they are today. I brought them on my property with greenhouses full. And I did that because I don't have a conscience about growing cannabis. In fact, it's something I'm very proud of.
Woo! Hey!
So I brought them onto my property, and the reason why I did this is because I don't have a conscience about growing it, but I do have a conscience about if my cannabis farm is affecting my neighbors, is affecting my neighborhoods, or is affecting my watershed. And so I asked these agencies, I said, I need your help. I want a salmon-safe cannabis farm. I want Humboldt to be known as the home of a salmon-safe cannabis farm. Help me create this. And so they did. There's a perception out there that cannabis farmers are greedy, environmental terrorists who do not show up to solve the problems that our industry has brought to this area. That's not true. When I look out at this crowd, I'm looking into the faces, the heart and soul of the cannabis industry, but not just the heart and soul. I'm looking at the brain, the intellectual property. What we're trying to create here, yeah, you should cheer for that, because Humboldt grows the finest cannabis in the world. We want to make sure that we're doing it correctly. We are working very hard right now to create something that is cost-effective, is time-effective. It allows farmers this is our heritage. Everywhere we go, CCVH pays tribute to the fact that there's lots of groups, both here locally, statewide, nationally. There's lots of individuals who have sacrificed a lot to get us to where we are right now. Here in Humboldt, we have sacrificed more than anybody else to keep this industry alive. This is our heritage. No one will take it from us. We need to have our voices heard when it comes to the regulation of this industry. So what I'm talking about creating here is a model that doesn't exist anywhere else. And so we've had some problems along the way. And the reason is there's nowhere else to look. The state and the country is looking to Humboldt County as the standard of cannabis cultivation to create a responsible regulatory scheme. And so what that looks like is that basically if a farmer comes forward and they take care of the three main permits that are causing most of the environmental damage, and these are not hard to get, by the way. We're working very hard so that one person, and this is a trusted people, a third-party certifier could come onto your property and could enroll you into all three permits that would make sure that your farm is the same as mine and not affecting our watersheds. We want to be growing cannabis. When we're writing this, we're not writing this for next year. We're not writing this for 5 years down the road. We're writing this so that for 50, the next 100, the next 1,000 years, Humboldt County stays famous for what it does best, which is growing high-quality cannabis that is responsible to our environment.
Word!
What we're talking about here is forming a partnership, and some of my friends tell me it's unlikely, and some of my friends tell me it's unholy. What it is it's a partnership between cannabis farmers, law enforcement, environmentalists, business leaders, our regulatory agencies, and our elected officials. This has never been done before in Humboldt County. We had a fishing industry that did not want to be told how much fish to take from the ocean, how much crab to take. They are now a skeletal shape of what they used to be. We had a timber industry that while it was in local hands, it was run very well. But when it left local hands, the people whose hands it went to did not match our local values or our mountain sophistication.
Yeah.
So I'll put it in a baseball analogy so that it's very simple to understand. We've had 2 pitches that came down the plate. We swung and we missed. We have a third one now. This is a very complicated pitch to hit. It's a change-up. It's moving around. But what we have is two choices. We either swing and we miss, or we dig our feet in together as a community, and we hit this one out of the park. And when I say that, I mean we hit it all the way out of the park. So that is heard not just statewide, nationwide, globally. Cannabis is an industry that is the fastest growing industry in the United States, soon to be globally. We want that industry to reflect what we all know. Humboldt County is one of the most beautiful regions in the world. The Emerald Triangle is one of the most beautiful regions in the world.
True.
Our community and our industry as cannabis farmers should be a reflection of that outward beauty. And until it is not, California Cannabis Voice Humboldt will be working very hard to make that a reality.
Again! Boom! Boom! Boom!
I want to make special mention to our board. I want to make special mention of these people because all of us are used to being overworked and underpaid. We are not used to being overworked with no pay. And that's what these people do in your community. We have real leaders. We have leaders out on the 36, Sequoia Hudson and Ronnie. These are people that have stood up. We have my wife over here, Tanya Murphy.
Thank you, Tanya!
She's my woman in cannabis, and it'd be hard pressed to find a greener thumb out in Willow Creek.
Woo! Indeed.
Isaiah O'Donnell is my policy chair. He's been working really hard. Everybody in this group, and I'm not going to name them all for you because we have a widespread group, but everybody in this group has been sacrificing their time, their money, their relationships. So not only thank you to the board, but thank you to the significant others of the board, because I know we've been stealing.
Here, here.
I'm very proud of us as a community, and I'm very proud of Humboldt County. And whatever we do as a group going forward is going to dishonor the sacrifices that were made, dishonor or honor the sacrifices that were made here as a community. We have loss of life. We have separation of families through incarceration. We have total financial ruin. Good people who are totally ruined by the fact that they were too good at what they did. This is going to change. I know people say that the worst is to come. I hear this doom and gloom idea all the time, but I'm going to very clearly tell you, and with a lot of conviction, that the best days are yet to come for the cannabis community. I also want to thank our women in cannabis, because in the rest of the world, women are discounted. They are not paid the same for the same day's work. Here in the cannabis community of Humboldt, we have a chance to change that. We have a chance to make sure that women get the due credit that they deserve. Our women are farmers. Our women are business owners. Our women are the leaders of this area, and we're going to work very hard to make sure that that's The first meeting I went to was a meeting with about 20 people in a park. This movement has grown. Next month, we're going to have bluegrass and barbecue. We're going to have that out at the Willow Creek Golf Course. We're going to have 300 cultivators at least. We might have more out there in Willow Creek standing side by side. We're going to do the same thing and bring that tour down to the Mattole. We're going to bring that to the Mateel, and we're going to bring that out on the 36. Finally, we're going to culminate that effort by bringing 1,000 farmers to the Blue Lake Casino, where we're going to stand and we're going to make our message known. And then we're going to bring that down to the Mateel. For too long, we've been separated. We haven't gotten to talk about the issues that are bothering all of us. Granges used to be a place where people got together and they didn't just solve the problems that were affecting our crops. We solved the problems that were affecting our communities.
Yes. Whoa.
This is our opportunity. This is our chance to shape something that will then be taken on a statewide level and be taken on a national level and on a global level. You should be proud of yourselves here in Humboldt. And I look around the room and I'm very proud of you. And for the first time in my life, I'm very proud of myself because I know that I'm involved in something that matters. I want to thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you. Whoa.
I really want you all to give Mark a very warm welcome, a humble welcome, because Mark has traveled all the way out. Mark's on the other side of this argument. There already was regulation, and I can tell you, they weren't listening to small farmers when they wrote it in Colorado.
Indeed.
So what we need is, we need Mark's knowledge to help us here to write sensible regulations that are common sense and not overburdensome for our farmers. So I want you to give a really warm welcome to Mark Sloan.
Before Mark comes up, we're going to have Crystal. She's one of the co-founders of the Women's Alliance. I also wanted to mention that we have a silent auction going over in the corner there until 8:30. We've had some great donators like